The bulldozer's engine roared to life as HOA officer Mark Reynolds smirked. "Stop," I shouted, my voice cracking with desperation. But he just sneered. "Too late, buddy." The metal gate groaned, twisting under the machine's weight as it was ripped apart. Suddenly, a black SUV screeched to a halt. "FBI, step away from the property." The color drained from Mark's face. "You're trespassing on federal land," the agent barked, his voice ice cold. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. It all started with a loud knock at my gate. I thought it was just another delivery, maybe the landscaper or the security guy. But when I checked the security camera, my stomach dropped. 8 men in construction gear, helmets, reflective vests, tool belts, stood outside. Behind them, 3 bulldozers loomed, their steel buckets lowered, ready to tear my world apart. I'm James Carter, and this is my story. I opened the gate and stepped into the blinding Florida sun. The salty ocean breeze whipped through my hair, but the air was thick with tension. A man in his mid-40s, holding a clipboard, adjusted his sunglasses. His HOA jacket gleamed, the letters stark white against the navy fabric. "Can I help you?" I asked, forcing calm into my voice. He didn't blink. "We're here to carry out a demolition order." "Demolition order?" My heart raced. "For what?" "This property," he said, flipping a page on his clipboard. "I'm Mark Reynolds, Palm Beach HOA. Your property violates building codes. Non-compliant structures are subject to removal." "That's impossible," I snapped. "This isn't under any HOA. It's private land." Mark's lips curled into a thin, smug smile. "Our records say otherwise." "You're making a mistake," I said, stepping closer. The bulldozer rumbled to life, its treads grinding the gravel. My pulse spiked. "Stop," I yelled, but Mark waved the machine forward. The steel bucket gleamed, casting a shadow over my driveway. "Step aside," Mark said, his voice dripping with arrogance. "You have until the count of 3. "Proceed with what?" My voice cracked. "Demolition," he whispered, leaning in close. "1," he began, his eyes gleaming. The bulldozer inched closer. 2. I stood frozen, my mind racing. My lawyer, Sarah, had sworn this land was free of HOA control. This had to be a mistake. 3, Mark hissed. The bulldozer's bucket lifted, ready to strike. I yanked out my phone, hands shaking, and dialed Sarah. "This is illegal," I shouted. Mark smirked. "Should have read the fine print." Before I could respond, tires screeched. A black SUV whipped around the corner, doors flying open. 4 men in dark suits spilled out, moving with lethal precision. The lead agent, a tall man with a shaved head and a stone-cold stare, flashed a badge. "FBI, step away from the property." Mark's smirk vanished. "What?" "You're trespassing on federal land," the agent said, holding up a folder. "That demolition order?" "Invalid." Mark stumbled back, his face pale. "This is a mistake." "No," the agent said, his voice sharp. "It's a crime." The bulldozer's engine roared again, and I snapped. "You're not touching my house." I stepped into the machine's path, my chest heaving. Mark scoffed. "You're interfering." "I'm protecting what's mine," I warned. A new figure emerged, a sheriff's deputy, his hand resting on his holster. "Move, sir," he said, his voice flat. My stomach sank. "You're kidding me." "They have a court order," the deputy said. "That order's fake," I shouted. "This land isn't under HOA control." Mark chuckled. "Our records disagree." The bulldozer's bucket slammed into the gate with a gut-wrenching screech. Metal twisted, flying across the driveway. "You bastard." I charged forward, but the deputy grabbed my arm, yanking me back. "Step back, or I'll escalate this." "Escalate," I snarled, twisting free. The bulldozer inched closer, its treads gouging the stone. I lunged into its path. "You want to destroy my house? You'll have to go through me." The deputy drew his gun. "Step back." "Are you serious?" I yelled, hands raised. "You're pointing a gun at me while they wreck my property?" Mark leaned in, his breath hot. "What's it gonna be, Carter?" "Stop," I screamed, but the bulldozer's engine drowned me out. The bucket lifted higher, trembling. 1, Mark whispered. 2. The deputy's radio crackled. "Hold." The operator froze. Mark's smile faltered. "What?" "Hold all action," the radio repeated. "Conflict of jurisdiction. Stand by." Mark's face darkened. Whose jurisdiction? The deputy's jaw tightened. I don't know. I exhaled, my chest burning. Mark turned to me, eyes blazing. This changes nothing. I smiled coldly. I think you're out of time. The deputy ordered the bulldozer shut down. The engine sputtered and died, but the tension didn't. I stormed inside, grabbing my phone to call Sarah. They're saying the HOA can demolish my house. I shouted. That's impossible, Sarah said. Your property isn't under HOA control. They've got bulldozers and a sheriff's deputy backing them. Sarah's voice darkened. That order's fake, or someone screwed up. Don't let them touch anything. I'm calling the county now. I rushed to the window. The bulldozer was moving again. No. I flung open the door. Stop this now. Mark didn't flinch. You were warned. I charged him, grabbing his jacket and shoving him back. You think you're untouchable? The deputy's voice cut through. Step back. The bulldozer's bucket crashed into the gate again, snapping another beam. Dust choked the air. I roared, shoving the deputy aside and rushing the machine. The operator hesitated, eyes wide. Mark barked, proceed. But the deputy's radio crackled again. Hold. Conflict of jurisdiction. Mark's smile vanished. This is a mistake. The deputy lowered his hand from his gun. Doesn't sound like it. An hour later, the black SUV returned. 4 FBI agents stepped out, their presence commanding. The lead agent, Agent Harris, flashed his badge. Step away from the property. Mark's eyes widened. You have no jurisdiction here. Actually, Harris said, holding up a folder, we do. This land is under a federal trust. Demolishing it is a federal offense. Mark's face flushed. We have a court order. Invalid, Harris said. Federal law trumps local authority. The deputy's hand drifted from his holster. Mark's voice shook. This is insane. No, Harris said. You're trespassing and destroying private property. That's a crime. Mark laughed nervously. Let's not blow this out of proportion. Harris's gaze hardened. You had no authority here. You've already caused damage. That carries penalties. I smiled. I had a suspicion this wasn't legal. Now it's confirmed. Harris turned to Mark. Step away. Mark shook his head. This is my jurisdiction. Not anymore, Harris said coldly. The deputy shifted uncomfortably. What happens now? Harris's eyes narrowed. Now we figure out how deep this goes. Mark took a step back. Wait. Stop talking, Harris snapped. You've said enough. I crossed my arms. You knew this wasn't legal, didn't you? Mark's eyes burned. You think you've won? I know I have, I said. Harris nodded to the other agents. Escort him off. You can't do this. Mark shouted as 2 agents grabbed him. His face twisted with rage. I'll see you in court. I hope so, I said, smiling. The deputy stood frozen. Harris turned to him. You have paperwork to update. The deputy nodded stiffly and walked to his squad car. The SUV's engine roared, and Mark's furious face glared through the tinted glass as it pulled away. The bulldozer operators climbed down, retreating quietly. I stood in the wreckage of my gate, breathing in the ocean air. It wasn't over, but I'd won this round. Weeks later, the gate was rebuilt, stronger than before. The driveway was repaved, the lawn replanted. But the real victory wasn't the repairs, it was the HOA's collapse. Neighbors, furious and scared, started a petition to dissolve it. News broke. Multiple HOA officers, including Mark, were arrested for fraud and illegal seizures. The lead officer's smug face flashed on TV, now pale and defeated, as he was led away in handcuffs. One evening, Agent Harris visited. The investigation's ongoing, he said. The forged order didn't come from the HOA. It was a private law firm with political ties, state level, maybe higher. My jaw clenched. Someone powerful wanted this. Seems that way, Harris said. The HOA was just a tool. Will they try again? I asked. Harris handed me his card. If they do, you'll be ready. I nodded. Damn right. Months later, I sat by my pool, whiskey in hand, watching the sunset. My phone buzzed. Sarah. The court ruled in your favor, she said. 7 figures in damages. I smiled. Perfect. The HOA's finished, she added. The homeowners dissolved it. Good, I said, sipping my drink. The waves crashed softly, the air calm. Justice had been served, and they never saw it coming. What do you think? Was I right to stand my ground, or did I push too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and share your take on power plays like this. Smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life drama.